Hello everybody and welcome back. I said welcome back. Well, welcome to the first episode of the Pokemon Crystal Relay Race. This is a race where teams of 6 Pokemon will be racing against each other through Pokemon Crystal. So we're basically going to be going through Crystal 6 times for each team. However, the way it works is that each team has a leader, and each leader is represented by things. As you can see, the top is the leaders of team of the Johto starter leaders, and the bottom part are the counter starters as the leaders. And each team has 6 members. These teams consist of a rock type, a poison type, a flying type, along with the 3 starter types. The water types will always have the same type running at the same time. In this case, the water types have rock types, with Totodile having Team Larvitar leading on his team, leading off the run, and Squirtle having Rhyhorn leading off his run. The flying types are for the fire types, which is Natu leading off the run for Team Cyndaquil, and Zubat for Charmander. I don't hate Charmander, guys. I don't. But I really love Zubat, and I wanted him to be a part of this run. And Zubat, and, well, since the Pokemon, well, how should I put it? The types more match the region, like a flying type would more than likely come from the region where they're from, so like a counter starter definitely has Pidgey on their team. Counter starter probably has Spearow on their team if Spearow is on their team. Spearow was included in this run, I'm not exactly sure if it is. But yeah, that's how it is. And then we have poison types for grass types, which is Chikorita getting Nidoran male because Chikorita got Nidoran mainly because Chikorita lost the original run. Nidoran is a very good Pokemon, it's able to evolve into Nidoking really quickly in Crystal. Like, all you need is Flash, and you can get it to Crystal, so by the end of the first gym, Nidoran should already be a Nido King. And then there's Bulbasaur, who got Ekans, so unfortunately I wouldn't consider a great poison type, especially having Wrap. Anyway, as you can see, Natu is leading very far. Well, he's already heading up towards Mr. Pokemon, and in second we have Team Squirtle, who's in Cherry Grove, and then there's everyone else making progress, except Zubat. Zubat is kind of just stuck behind there, trying to kill this Hoot. Been fighting it for a while now. But yeah, the way this is gonna go is very simple. This is gonna be 30 minutes, and it's gonna be post-commentary. This is entirely post-commentary because I couldn't really do this. So I'm basically gonna be having the same reactions as you guys, watching each screen and pointing out certain things. For me, for my I can already see. I already know who's gonna be leading at the end. I don't know who's gonna be leading at specific points or what happens at the exact same time. But much like how I did it previously, where certain Pokemon need to be caught, like every team needs to catch a Noctowl, a Hoot. Every team needs to catch a Poliwag, every team needs to catch a Bellsprout, and every team needs to catch a Geodude. There are specific points, where if you reach a point and you haven't caught a Pokemon, then you have to stop there and stay in that grass until you catch it. That is a penalty. You have to hope, for the love of God, that you catch the Pokemon before, or you're going to be in trouble. As you can tell, the audio is provided by Team Larvitar. The reason for this, by Team Totodile. The reason for this is, if you haven't guessed yet, Totodile won the starter race. Or the team leaders will be running last, obviously. They're the anchors for their team. They're bringing it in. So they have to hope that they've been given a good length. Which is why, again, why Chikorita has Nidoran on his team. I figure Nidoran should do well, a good start, and lead into handing off the baton really quickly. But yeah, Natu from Team Cyndaquil is really tearing it up. Already got the Mystery Egg, already going on. While Zubat just finally got out of its battle. Poor Zubat. Poor Zubat. But Zubat isn't the only Pokemon that's actually struggling here. You can see it over there too. Ekans is actually struggling pretty hard to move on. Ooh, Rhyhorn just got killed with its poison too. Look at that. But yeah, Totodile is currently in third place, behind a lot of these mons. But yeah, all of them. Oh, and since what I really wanted to do was change the starter I mean the rival Pokemon, but I couldn't do that without actually randomizing the ROM, randomizing the trainers. So yeah, this was all done through randomizer. I just changed starters, and that's what happened. But I can't change the rival to have the opposite Pokemon for the team else. But yeah, that's about the most I could do. But as you can see, Natu and Team Totodile are now pretty much neck and neck. Insane how quickly Totodile caught up to Noctis now, right? Yeah. But we'll see how things keep going. Quite frankly, the way I see how it's gonna go is that we have to watch who has the advantage early on. I already have a strategy that I plan on using for each and every mon. I say that, but mainly only one mon for sure has a definite strategy. Like, I know what strategy I'm going to be using for Zubat. He needs it more than the rest of them, at least early on. Ekans, as you can see, I'm already introducing a strategy into Ekans once I realized how bad his rap actually was. Like, I expected it to be terrible, but I figured the only way for Ekans to work is that I introduce a rap at first, and then, after that rap, I use Lair while it's still doing a little bit of damage, carry him, lower its defense twice, and then attack with rap again, until it dies. With Natu, Natu only has Spec. Natu can go through the entire way like this, no issues whatsoever. And Natu's also the first to challenge its rival. And since Natu is Cyndaquil, which is the fire type, his rival will be none other than Totodile. So yep, Natu versus Totodile. And as you can see, Zubat ran out of power points during that first battle with Mewtwo. He's down to just struggling. And in all honesty, that is perfect. If Zubat is just struggling, all I need to do is focus on getting potions, and he'll be doing good damage every time. He may not be able to keep up with the rest of them at this pace, but with that he'll be able to do it. Ooh, Larvitar levels up to level 6. Nice. Still below, but as you can see, Natu is, I won't say tremendously ahead, but Natu has a clear advantage right now. I mean, he came really close to losing to Totodile, but he still managed to win. But his advantage is pretty big, already level 6, already beaten the rival, while Team Totodile just reached to the rival. And while this still Natu, I think Natu was 4th? I mean, what I'm thinking Natu, I mean, Nidoran is in 4th right now versus talking to the professor and Mr. Pokemon. Well, contrary to popular belief, Zubat is not in last right now. Zubat is honestly in 5th place. He's ahead of Ekans, all because he managed to get to the point where he was able to struggle. See, that's all he needed, because struggle is a better move than rap. The fact of the matter is he'll be able to maintain his lead over him as long as he's struggling. Or at least until Ekans gets a better move. It comes down to that. Oh. But you should really watch the two rock types though. Look at them. They're pretty close together. I mean, it's not like the flying types who are miles apart, or even the poison types who are miles apart. The two rock types are basically neck and neck. I mean, yeah, one just beat the rival entirely, and one's just starting to fight, but they're still pretty much neck and neck. Oh, yep. And Zubat just learned Supersonic, so he's gonna go back to Keel to get his power points from Leech Life back because he's gonna need them. Because Supersonic is now forced on him. And wow, these guys are fighting Zubats at the same time. Look at that. Zubats. I like Zubat, he's really one of my favorite Pokemon. Well, Crobat, I should say, is one of my favorite Pokemon. And here we go. Talking to his mom to get to prevent the money now. Natu is just leading. Like, I honestly didn't, when I was recording this, I swear, like, Natu was, like, there was a point where I actually didn't consider Natu would be in front, but Natu led for most. Natu's leading. Like, Natu's just leading. And his advantage is pretty big. When you consider the first area is Sprout Tower. I mean, Larvitar and Rhyhorn need serious luck when they reach the Sprout Tower, regardless. And again, Ekans is still fighting You know, Zubat is honestly a terrible opponent for Ekans because the additional rap damage is not really a lot. And Leech Life is going to recover off that damage, so it's not like he can actually do. Ooh, a crit though. That crit. And again, we see Zubat struggling. He has to supersonic a Hutu, then Leech Life, and work along this way. This, as you can see, I'm pretty sure Ekans is about to take over Zubat for this run, which wasn't happening. But Nidoran now has Horn Attack. Now I'm going to tell you, keep your eyes on Team Squirtle, Team Totodile, Team Cyndaquil, and Team Chikorita right now. Look at Nidoran. Look at how Team Chikorita is going to move. Look at the pace Nidoran's going to have now that it has Horn Attack. You will say, well, Rhyhorn has Horn Attack. Yes, Rhyhorn does have Horn Attack. That's why Rhyhorn was moving quite fast. But now the pace, you're about to see some incredible pace here. You can even see it from Natu, but Natu, this is the point where you want to run into wild Pokemon. You want to run into them. See, Natu wants to find a Poliwag in this grass. You don't want to wait till you're in the grass right in front of you, right in front of, what's it called again? I'm playing so much Pokemon. Violet City, yes. You don't want to wait in front of that grass. You don't want it to happen there, because if it happens there, you're gonna be stopped there until you find it. You're gonna be stuck waiting until you find it. It's the same for Hoothoot. Hoothoot and Poliwag are automatically you trapped there. If you don't find Bellsprout at the end of the route after, like that route, if you don't find him by the time you reach the bottom of the grass, you have to stay there until you find Bellsprout. Right after that Union Cave, if you don't run into and capture a Geodude before the end of Union Cave, you're stuck there until you catch a Geodude. These are the little things. These are the little RNG that can make you or break you in this run. And that's what happened. As you can see, wow, they're capturing their Hootoots at the exact same time. I mean, Larvitar is still ahead, but that's really something that helps out. Like, if you can catch Hootoot and catch Poliwag, even if you don't manage to catch the Bellsprout, that means you can actually get onto the point where you can actually start running in the morning. Because I think Bellsprout appears more in the morning, so you'll be able to play. I'll be able to play in the mornings more. Like when I'm actually doing the audio recordings and such, I'll be able to play with this. But yeah, as you've seen, Zubat is still struggling. Don't get me wrong, I don't believe Zubat is gonna be a detriment to Team Charmander. Because you have to keep in mind, Team Totodile, while Larvitar is a good Pokemon, Larvitar fully evolves at level 55. Level 55. That is far away, and he doesn't get his first evolution until level 30. Natu is fully evolved at level 25. That'll be very helpful. Again, we have Nidoran, who's going to be fully evolved by the midway through episode 2. I'm pretty sure about that. We also have Ekans, who gets fully evolved not too late either. And we have Team Charmander, whose Zubat has the ability to be fully evolved by level 23. That can happen, and more than likely will, so that's good for him. Really good for him. But we can see, he's already defeated his second youngster, Team Natu, while Team Team Totodile, I keep calling him Team Natu instead of Team Charmander, Team Cyndaquil, but yeah, they're just trudging along. Ooh, and now we have Team Chikorita has already caught its Hoothoot. Only needs to catch its Poliwag and it will be able to advance straight into the next town with no issue. Like I said, keep your eyes on these guys. They're gonna be moving at an incredible pace, while Ekans and Zubat are really far behind. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying catch-up isn't possible, because Zubat's gonna probably have one of the faster times going through, what's it called, Sprout Tower? Oh my god, I can't believe it actually happened. Anyway, I believe Zubat's gonna have one of the fastest times going through Sprout Tower. But, you never know, like, I believe Hoothoot's probably gonna have the fastest. It's super effective, It's gonna definitely one-shot everything that's not a Hoot Hoot in there. It's probably gonna go through Splat Tower the fastest. But yeah, Zubat is now in last place. Ekans is in 5th. I'm not sure who's in which. He just defeated Youngster Joey. I know Natu's still in 1st at this point. And which one are you fighting, Rhyhorn? I didn't see which fight you're in. Yeah, Rhyhorn just got passed by Nidoran. Just got passed by Nidoran. Which means Larvitar is fighting that bug catcher trainer. So he's pretty much right now in the. But you realize something right now about Team Natu. He has caught Poliwag, but he hasn't caught Hoothoot. In other words, he's in trouble. He's at the last patch of grass and hasn't caught one of the 3 Pokemon. This is bad for him. This is terribly bad for him. And Team Totodile just got lucky. Poliwag was the one Pokemon he needed, and he just ran into it. Problem is, he's a rock ground type. Poliwag is pure water. In other words, it's gonna hurt when he gets hit by a bubble. It did 10 damage, the amount of damage that Berry helped him recover. It was insane. But luckily he gets a flinch and Poliwag is caught. But again, Natu is just gonna wreck this bug catcher like he's no tomorrow. And again, look at these two. Look at these rock types. They keep running into the Pokemon really close together. Like he just caught his Poliwag, now he's about to catch his Poliwag. It's really close together. Oh, and Cyndaquil was beaten. And Team Ekans finally beat their rival. Pretty much just having a slight lead over Team Zubat. Team Charmander. But yeah. We can see it now. Natu is on the last grass. And he's hoping that this is a Hoothoot. But it's another Poliwag. Not what he needs. Really not what he needs. And as per the rules, you can't run from one Pokemon. You have to fight them all. So Natu is pretty much stuck at this point until he can run into a Hoothoot. We saw this happen before with Chikorita in the original run, except I wasn't exactly playing it smart because I stayed in the bottom route way too long instead of advancing because I didn't realize you could actually run into Poliwags on the higher route. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can even see it. This is a problem. Natu needs to find Hoothoot now because Larvitar is right there. And right behind Larvitar, in the same exact fight as Larvitar, is Nidoran. Rhyhorn is still a bit behind them, but that's Rhyhorn for you. But now Natu, who's supposed to be leading, is now hoping desperately that he runs into a Hoothoot. And unfortunately, he does not. It's another Poliwag. What can he do about it? Nothing. He has to keep fighting Poliwags. Well, he's getting experience to level up, but he has to keep doing this until... Another thing you can watch is that if you watch at their levels, you realize that Natu grows the second fastest. Larvitar and Rhyhorn grow at about the same pace. No, not even that. Rhyhorn grows faster than Larvitar. And Nidoran grows way faster than them. In other words, that's his advantage. Again, as Zubat, if Zubat could learn Fly, it can't. Not until it's a Crobat. It would have been viable for Natu. But unfortunately, no. He needs a Hoothoot. So he's pretty much stuck there until he gets a Hoothoot. And as you can see, oh, a Ghost type. When I did this one, I was like, okay, Larvitar ran into a Ghost type. That is bad. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned the way the audio is done yet. I don't think I did. But whoever's leading at the end of the previous episode will be the one who has the audio recorded for them. The rest of them, there's no audio data for them at all. I don't record the audio for them. I only need one set of audio, and it just saves me space. Here, Larvitar gets Sandstorm, which is... I won't say bad. It's actually pretty helpful for him when you consider it in the long run. Especially if he runs into something that he can't deal with. It could do some extra damage there. But you can see, Larvitar is taking the lead, and right next to him is like really right on his tail. No, and at this point, Nidoran doesn't need to heal. Nidoran has more power points than him. Nidoran goes straight ahead, taking the lead right from Larvitar, right as he takes it. No way to stop it. Nidoran is gone, first up the tower, and however, Natu does get lucky to the point he runs into a Bellsprout. This is one of the Pokemon he needs. It isn't one of them exactly, but it is one of them he needs, and this is very good for him. Very, very good for him. If he manages to catch this Bellsprout, while the others might have the ability to get stuck on the next route, he does not. He'll already have it. However, he still needs to run into a Hoothoot. Because even Zubat, yes, Zubat who is in last place, is catching up to him right now. Everyone is catching up to him or leaving him behind. As you can see, Rhyhorn himself just passed him. Rhyhorn just passed Hoothoot. Just passed Natu. But you can see right here where the other problem is. While Larvitar had a very easy time getting here, it's not that easy anymore because he's a rock ground type. These Vine Whips hurt. They hurt a lot. They do half his health. So he's going to be forced to rely on something else here. He's going to have to put in Poliwag as a sacrificial lamb while he heals himself. Because that's the only way he can do it. While he's busy having trouble going up the tower because he can't one-shot any of these Bellsprouts, Nidoran, being a poison type, can take any Vine Whip that's dished out against him and keep climbing. And his Horn attack is probably doing massive damage, if not one-shotting them at this point in time. So Larvitar is completely losing any ground he had to Nidoran right now. However, after about 5 minutes, Natu finally caught his Hoothoot. It took forever, but Natu finally did it. And at the same time he's catching his Hoothoot, Zubat is also catching his. Good for Zubat. Which goes to show you, Zubat is in last, and he caught his Hoothoot pretty much at the same time as Natu. And this is what you can see. You can see it right now. All three of them, Natu, Team Larvitar, and Team Rhyhorn are pretty close. Rhyhorn is pretty much lucky, as his Horn attack is able to one-shot these level 3 Bellsprouts, so he's pretty much, unlike Team Totodile, able to advance much faster through the tower. He doesn't have to heal after the first battle, and he takes over Larvitar, leaving Larvitar in 3rd place. Natu, as you guys know, is a flying type. He is not going to have that much trouble going up here, so he should pass Larvitar with relative ease. But that's not even the point. Team Nidoran is running away with this competition right now. There isn't any way anyone's catching up to him. Team Zubat is still just at the route below Equitique, fighting off fighting another Hoothoot, which is something he didn't need at all. Hoothoots are bad, terrible bad. Ekans is moving onwards, trying his best to stay ahead, about to take on his set of trainers, because he had to heal after fighting one because he took a lot of damage, which gave, Zubat time to catch up, but it doesn't help that now things have happened. You can't really prevent these things anymore. Rhyhorn is still going to be moving on, doesn't take any damage from any of these trainers. Natu is going to be super effective hitting them and moving really quickly up, and Nidoran is now at level 12, one-shotting everything in his path. That's how things are right now. Going up this tower, you can't really stop Nidoran. He's too fast, he's too strong, and his strength increases because he levels up really quickly. So he's going to keep climbing this tower really fast. Then there's Larvitar, who has more trouble than the rest of them. His bite can't one-shot, so he has to hope that he can deal with all these Bellsprouts with no issues whatsoever. There he gets a flinch. That's wonderful. That's beautiful for him. Absolutely stunning. Allows him to keep moving. Then There's Raihun also fighting Sage Edmund. He's ahead of Larvitar now, as we can tell. And there's Natu as well. Natu's moving really quickly as well. All three of them. And Natu gets Nightshade now. Really nice for Natu. But yeah, Rhyhorn is ahead of Natu, who's ahead of Team Larvitar. Larvitar is, if I have to say the lucky one or the unlucky one, he's the only one who can actually take on Ghost types at this point in time out of anyone in this run. No one else can actually hurt Ghost types other than Zubat. Ekans. Oh wait, no, that's not true. Natu can do it too. But he's pretty much. If Nidoran was to run into uh, uh, a lot, Basti, he'd be stuck in that fight for about a minute. He'd be stuck there on that screen for about 1 minute, exactly 1 minute, before I press run, because he wouldn't be able to hurt him at this point in time. So he gets a 1 minute penalty in this fight. I mean, sometimes that's a penalty, sometimes it's not. I mean, look at Zubat here. He's been fighting this one Hoothoot forever now. That's not something that's really good. But here we are, we're getting really close to the 30-minute time limit. We're getting really close to 30 minutes. So the episode is about to end. And everyone is basically fighting their last set of trainers. But here we see something terrible happen. Larvitar is taken down. There's no stopping it now. Larvitar is down, which means he's going to be sent back. It's terrible for him. While Nidoran is now fighting a Hoothoot. This means he's fighting the second to last Sage. He's moving, really moving. Natu is also moving really quickly. Natu is moving just as fast, if not faster, than Rhyhorn and Nidoran. So that's something good he has going for him. As you can see, Poliwag actually managed to kill that one, which doesn't benefit him in any way, because the one who needs the EXP is none other than Larvitar. Well, that's about it. Anyway, guys, we can see Natu continuing. We can see Nidoran now continuing his R-Word fighting here. Ekans is trying to catch a Poliwag. I mean, things are basically moving along for most of these guys. I mean, if Ekans catches a Poliwag, he can start off the next episode in daytime. Zubat needs to catch a Hoothoot. No, he needs to catch a Poliwag, I think. Still, yeah, he needs to catch a Poliwag still for him to get morning on the next run. While you can technically see it. Rhyhorn is also having a ton of issues too. The main reason why Rhyhorn is having a ton of issues is because the level 6 ones won't be one-shot by his Horn attack. And the level 7 ones won't be one-shot by his Horn attack either. So he runs into trouble there. But Nidoran is now fighting the Sage Elder. I mean, things are moving quite well for Nidoran. And so things are moving along really well for everybody right now. I've even decided on my strategy here. And you'll see in a minute with Zubat what's going down. But again, Ekans catches Poliwag. He's moving along nicely. He can now go and start off the next one in the morning, while Zubat might not make it, because he still needs to catch a Poliwag, and he's fighting his Hoothoot. We all know how Hoothoots are for him. Again, Team Totodile is stuck waiting for Hoothoot to faint to the Spellsprout before he can do anything, because he's gonna have to get wiped out before he can actually go any further. Yeah, terribly bad for him. But yeah, that gave Team Squirtle a chance to take second place. At least for now, they're in second, about to fight the Elder. There isn't anything else they can do there. But now, we're nearing the end of the episode, guys, and everything went really well for a lot of people. I'd say this came out very, very well for a lot of these mods. Team Chikorita is definitely going to enjoy its lead, and I believe its lead is only going to get bigger. I have no idea how Natu is going to fare, because the next episode it will probably end up going through Union Cave, which is going to be probably troublesome for it, and probably troublesome for anyone who doesn't have a move that can deal with rock types. But yeah, that's about it, guys. They're all fighting, they're all trying to catch him. He has his Hoothoot now, so he'll be good in the morning. Everything is going along great. The problem here again is the Avatar has to fight these types. But that's it, guys. In the next episode, more progress will be made. See you guys then.